Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. All right, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Penny Bloom.
I don't know what you mean if you had a space after that. No, but hello everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast, and this is it, the final part of our top 100 favorite Star Wars characters. This is the top 10, baby. I am Colton Robertson, and I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here, and I don't know, it feels monumentous that we're finally getting here. You know, it's been quite some time to get to this point, you know, finally again.
I think we just need to abbreviate this moment, as the fuck from Glass Onion once said. Yeah, man, this is a great one, you know, and I've been waiting until the final part to reveal a little bit of a rule bend that we implemented into this top 100. So our top 100 being framed as a top 100 implies that there would be 100 characters in your top 100. However,
indeed,
we have set it up to go 0 to 100, and therein there are 101 characters in our top 100. I know it's cheating. However, it's still a top 10 in name. We're starting at 10, working up to 0. It felt wrong. Like, I wanted all of these characters to be included in my final episode. You know, I wanted them all to be appreciated as my top 10. There just happened to be 11 of them. So I had to bend the rules a little bit. I had to make something happen.
Yes, this extra spot was much appreciated on my end as well. And I guess I don't really want to spoil anything, but it was very appreciated. And I don't know, it feels a whole lot better now. This being like,
I'll give everyone a little tidbit. We didn't add this until after we did the 40s, so we had to decide to add a character in our top 40 after we'd already done 60 other characters. So, if there's ever any that you're like, that feels like it might not fit in exactly with the order you set out before us, that's why. But nevertheless, I feel good about mine, and I feel great about my top 10, which is really my top 11.
And also, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, homie. Happy Star Wars Day.
I know. It's quite perfect day for this, you know.
Exactly.
Talk about our favorite Star Wars characters. This is the tippy top of the mountain here. What better day could it have happened on?
There's no better day to discuss this. Happy May the 4th, my friend. And if you will, I would like to hand the reins over to you to begin the top 10 with your 10.
Oh, boy. Well, this, I don't know, might come as a shock to some. I've been kind of foreshadowing this for quite many rounds, but there was one particular droid that just made it quite up the ranks that hasn't been said yet. He wasn't going to be one, he wasn't going to be, you know, anything like that, but I wanted him to be in my top 10, you know, the last part, because he is that important to me. And I said that there was a reason that I haven't really talked about yet. And it's for the design of him in specific. Like, it's just all astromechs look like this, but this is our main astromech, you know, R2. So I kind of like the design of just every astromech. But R2's, you know, he's the main guy, and he's the one we're stuck with. He's the one that never got his memory wiped. He's my guy. And I want in my life, I want to, at some point, this will take a long time, but I will build full size R2 robot, and I will have that motherfucker follow me around working. It will work. And I swear I'm gonna have the door to open, a little zapper gonna come out, have a taser.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have all that stuff. So it's just been a life goal of mine. And before the Jot the Jawa, before all this R2 love explosion that I had, I've always wanted like an R2 kind of pal. Like, I've always just slowly build them over time. And now that I have a 3D printer, it's actually sort of, you know, more doable. I could do it like that, but I want it like real.
You
like
want to build
metal,
that motherfucker.
like metal, I don't know, little.
You want to build a fucking robot is what you want to do.
Yeah. So that's also part of the reason he's up here, but also he's just the Jot the Jawa and that that other revelation that really skyrocketed him up for me though, because it made me watch Star Wars in a whole different way. And maybe R2 himself doesn't have the greatest character arc, or he doesn't have any monologues like Luke. There's nothing that I can point to that's just like, hey, this is why I love R2. It's just strictly he's there always. He's watching. He takes it in, and I don't know. He doesn't say much. He's efficient. He does what he needs to do, but it's really just the look of him, the design of him, and then just kind of the idea of him following around all these great characters. And I really hope that, he's still around, and he gave the map. Luke's gone. Who's he going to be passed down to next? I can only assume it's Rey. It's going to stick around with Rey and BB-8.
Like the optimal
C-3PO. Yeah, he's staying around there too. So I really I don't think R2's going anywhere. That's the great thing about droids, is unless they blow up or like IG-11 themselves, there's really they don't go away.
They don't.
And R2, his memory.
There we go. Like
good droid. No poodoo. R2, no poodoo.
R2. No poodoo R2.
No poodoo. But I know.
Right. Good.
I know. I did have a big thing. I did have a droid run, and I did say now everyone who's above these droids, they officially made the droid cut. And they're above droids. And
R2 is the droid that made the droid cut.
Exactly. R2 made the droid cut, but it is kind of nuts to me, Like I did say Cassian Andor, Rey Skywalker, Ben Solo, Padme Amidala, Bo-Katan, like those are the characters that are coming before. But R2 has just always had something. I've always been intrigued by R2 ever since childhood, so he's always been around.
Hey, and who can hold? I can't hold you for that, man. There's no shame in that at all. This he's been around my entire life. There are very few characters in Star Wars that you can show to people who have not seen Star Wars, and they would know who they are. R2-D2 is one of those characters.
I'd say you might even get away with the silhouette of R2.
Oh yeah,
and they might even still know. Like silhouette of Vader. That's pretty obvious. People recognize that. I'd say, there's not many 3PO.
I'd say there are 3 characters that you can show people and they will know their name without knowing Star Wars. It's Darth Vader, R2-D2, and Chewbacca. If I'm being honest, I think Chewbacca would be one of them.
Yeah, that big hairy guy. Who else is that going to be? Bigfoot.
No, yeah.
People are going to say Bigfoot or Chewbacca. That's if you don't know the name Chewbacca, they'll probably just be like, I don't know, Bigfoot. But if you're it's Chewbacca. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I like that. But that's my boy R2. If you haven't, and you're ever rewatching Star Wars, or you're watching any Star Wars movie, or R2's in there, just look how many times he's kind of in the back, just the very corner of a shot. Kind of just he's just back there, looking like a little bystander. And just look at what he's all seen. It's a very interesting way to watch the movies.
That marks one of our larger gaps at 48 spots. Yeah. I had him 58. At 58. You have him here at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of a gap there, but not
almost
our largest.
Went higher. He almost went higher. I'm not going to lie. But
I wouldn't blame you for that.
So
right now, the only 3 gaps that are larger than that have been said are the biggest at Thrawn, 71 spots, 22 to 93. You had him at 22. I had him at 93. Wrecker at 55 spots. I had him at 92. You had him at 37. And then the third largest, the only one ahead of R2, Phee Genoa at 50 spots. I had her at 88. You had her at 38.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be spitting little tidbits like that throughout, just like the little fun facts about our top 100, who's hot, who's not. I was keeping track of the amount of Disney Star Wars compared to old Star Wars of old. See how much it just ended up working out, and that's an interesting one for me. But speaking of Disney Star Wars, my 10 starts with a Disney Star Wars original character. This one, I'm wrapping up my Bad Batch finally with Omega breaching my
Awesome.
top 10.
That's nice.
Yeah,
She deserves it. Oh,
yes, she does, man. I love me some Omega. Omega.
I'm Omega. I remember the first season. We just couldn't get over that for like
never.
the first couple days. But
And why would we? You know, I love me some Omega. She's just the jack of all trades. She's the sponge. Everyone takes a moment to be able to teach Omega something, and it's been wonderful to watch. I can't wait to see what the future of that character is. Hopefully, she's going to be okay through the third season of the Bad Batch. You know, not exactly in the best place after 2 seasons. However, I have high hopes. I have high hopes for that character. Michelle Ong performing her has been excellent. I've loved Omega, and while I loved her after season 1, I love her even more after season 2. Just a wonderful character, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for her. I love that she finally got some individuality in her character design over the course of the second season, kind of glomming on to different aspects of her family and kind of building upon it. I love the little helmet she's rocking. That's always fun.
And they like fully trust her abilities now. You know, like back then they were really afraid. They're like, she's a child. We can't let her do these things, you know, like don't let her like or whatever. But now she's just one of them, you know, and like doing like whenever they're like, like all shooting, like she pulls out, like she's sometimes the first to shoot even, you know, like she's ready.
She came out blasting.
Yeah, her bow. I don't know what to.
Her
call that, but
I can't. It has a name. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something bow. And it's really really fucking good. I love her. I love that character, and I can't wait to see more. Love that relationship with all of the Bad Batch, but you know, specifically Hunter will always warm my heart. Those two together, and I'm excited to see what happens with that character. Man, a lot of potential there. And it's already been acted on in a really compelling way. The Bad Batch is one of my favorite, top 3 favorite Star Wars show for me, if I'm being 100% honest. You know,
it's a beauty, and we're only 2 seasons in, and both of them have been fantastic. You know, it's like
Rebels, Bad Batch for me. That's my top 3 favorite Star Wars shows.
It'll be tough for Bad Batch to beat Rebels, just for like how long, you know, like I don't know. Rebels is just I've been able to sit with it for a lot longer too, and I look back and it's just aging like fine wine. But I bet Bad Batch will do the same. You know, we'll look back on it. I'm sure it'll only be good. It won't get worse, you know, over time.
No, not by any means.
But I don't know. Yeah, this next season, it's seeming like they're building up something pretty big. You know,
they are indeed.
And it's I don't know. It's not. I don't feel like it's a coincidence that this Mount Tanta stuff is happening at the same time that we're hearing about, you know, Gideon and Snoke or whatever, you know, how whatever all that stuff is. I don't know. I think that's kind of dropping little bits, you know, different points in the timeline, but kind of similar story, you know.
100%.
That's being told. So I don't know.
Yeah, last year I had Omega at 16. She's a big reason. I love the Bad Batch. I had her at 16 last year, and she made the jump over Grogu. Made the jump over Anakin, made the jump over Lando, made the jump over Qui-Gon, made the jump over Boba Fett, made the jump over Padme. All those characters I had higher than Omega last year, and this year I do not. They all fell below her because she's fucking awesome. Love that character. So Omega at 10 here.
Hell yeah. Well, here my next guy might be another silhouette that you could show and that anyone would recognize instantly, and this is where I got Yoda. And yes, speaking riddles, I do for whatever reason. I'm just that old. I take after my master. But I don't know. Yeah, just one of the. I mean, it's Palpatine and Yoda. You know, and sadly Yoda lost. You know, and I want to say that Yoda, you know, could have that he beat Palpatine, and you know, and that. But also, I don't know how they let him go undetected for so long. Kind of nuts. You know, Yoda couldn't sense that. You know, a lot of. And that makes sense why he just kind of went to Dagobah and was like, I failed. You know, he's like, I lost the fight for the entire galaxy. You know, if I won that fight, it went different. I'm staying on Dagobah. You know what? See you later. Like, this sucks. Yeah. And, I don't know. I heard Mark Hamill say, maybe it was Mark Hamill. I think it was, say Dagobah. But it was like Dagobah. Like, they said it, like, so differently. And I'm like, have I been saying like, is it not Dagobah?
Well, that's the thing. It's a common thing in Star Wars, and George Lucas is pretty lenient on it. He says you can kind of say it however you want. Him himself, George Lucas himself, has referred to Hoth as Hoth and Hoth within the same. Yeah,
it's just however you want to say it.
Exactly. Same, the way Lando says Han, while most say Han. You know, like it's just a preference thing. I will always say Dagobah. Dagobah would be. Just sounds wrong to me.
Just sounds really weird. But I don't know, Yoda. He's the wise one. You know, he's just, we don't know where he came from. We got Grogu now. We have Yaddle. That's it. That's all we know. But I don't know. I hope maybe we'll get more into that. But if not, I think it's cool just to let it be a mystery. You know, honestly, like they're just these creatures that are super wise, super strong in the Force. At least all of them that we've seen. And I don't know, I guess he's very stuck to the Jedi ways, you know, obviously. He's the leader he's the top dog there. He's been there for quite a while. And a lot of history there that, I don't know, that we haven't seen from Yoda. We only got his old days, you know. So, imagine we're gonna get that through Grogu, I'd assume, you know, a Yoda in his prime. But what we got at Yoda at 900, I mean, he was fighting Palpatine, which is, I know Palpatine's old, but that's a lot younger compared to Yoda, you know, on like, I don't know, lifespan. Age doesn't really matter, I guess, when it comes to Jedi. Because Luke, like whenever Luke, I guess he projected himself there at the end, but he was just all Neo in the Matrix, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are, the Force has got you.
Yeah,
But I don't know, Yoda, he's just, always, you know, just, also, me just being short my whole life, Yoda being like just one of the shortest motherfuckers, but the most powerful Jedi there is, you know, out of all of them was really nice to have
my size, do you?
Just a short guy. So that was nice, but I don't know. Star Wars isn't really Star Wars if you don't have characters like this. You know, if everyone's a human, it would be okay, but it's so nice to break it up and have characters like R2 and Yoda and just Omega kids as well, you know, not just all adults. So I don't know. It's just, that's what makes Star Wars. So little green guy.
I love it. Yoda will be in this episode for me. Not too far up the list from where you've got him. I won't be long now, but I'm gonna go next to the companion of the descendant of Yoda's species. I'm going to Din Djarin here at 9.
Okay.
Love me some Din Djarin. He's got a lot of growing to do, but I love what he's done so far. The first 2 seasons of Mando sent that character on an excellent journey that I think was paid off just wonderfully in the Mandalorian season 2 finale. I loved Luke coming to pick up Grogu, but the thing from the finale that always sticks with me is him taking off his helmet. You know, like that's just always been the thing that for some reason I think of when I think of that finale, as opposed to Luke Skywalker showing up. And
that's the part you're crying for.
That's,
you know,
the emotional resonance.
You're kind of, it starts, you know, you start to cry just because it's like, oh, it's Luke and the legendary Luke Skywalker's coming in. You see him taking out. It's more like happy tears at that point. You know, you're just like loving what you're seeing. So it's like, okay, I'm starting to tear up. But then whenever it's like, oh,
music turns into that like playful like, Grogu thing.
He's leaving, and like, oh, wait a minute, what does this mean? And then you're like, oh no, and
Grogu touching his helmet.
That's where I lose it every time. Yeah. Whenever like he just reaches out his hand. That's that finale will never be forgotten. That was
and I just feel like I enjoy Mando season 3, but they lost something there. As far as because even in the Book of Boba Fett, whenever Grogu is sitting up on that hill with Luke and Din's talking to Ahsoka, and he's like, but I came all this way, and he's right there. There's like this real thoughtful sadness in his voice, like this true emotion in his voice. Like, I know that he's a stoic dude, but for the love of God, write him something that makes him feel something. I mean, shit.
I know. And I think I saw I was trying, I really hated just saying over and over that it was feeling exposition-y. I felt like I was a broken record, and I'm like, it just feels like exposition, but I didn't know, I felt like I wanted to say something more, but I didn't quite know where it was. and I saw something where it's like a workshop of two, kind of like in Tick Tick Boom, whenever there was like those two guys that were like giving them tips on stuff like that. But it was, I don't know, it was just kind of like a workshop talking about writing and stuff and how to make it better. And yeah, it was and then this happens and then this happens, and that, I think that's just what season 3 was. That's what they were focused on. They were like, we need these events to happen, and they weren't really focused on the why. You know, if they took a step back and like, why are we doing, you know, like, why are we doing this? Why are we taking back Mandalore? Why are, you know, just, we know why, because the Empire bad, Gideon bad, kill, you know, we don't want them there. But like, it's not talked about. I don't know. It's just like more, not things happening. Just, I don't know. I felt like maybe that's just what it was. It was just moment after moment, and then, and that's kind of how they wrote it. It seems they weren't really focused on the why or the.
I just think that,
you know,
the therefore, you know, like I think that Din. I think that Bo-Katan had a solid journey over the course of season 3, but I thought it was a nothing season for Din.
Yeah,
you know, I thought that we just didn't make a lot of progress with him. I wish we could have, but you know, it is what it is. And I've really enjoyed that character's development over the course of 3 seasons. Felt a little stagnant in the 3rd season, but I'm sure now that we've accomplished what we wanted to in season 3, hopefully we can get back to the heart of the show, which was Din and Grogu's relationship and the struggles that they faced together and how they overcome it. And you know, not to say that retaking Mandalore wasn't a struggle, but it wasn't their struggle, and it was Bo's struggle, which isn't to say that it was bad. I loved that part of the story. It's just that Din and Grogu didn't need to be as sidelined as they were. They were supporting characters, and Din did a good job towards the back half of the season. Well, actually, Din did a better job through the first half of the season, and then the second half of the season, he was kind of just there. And
and all the marketing with the Darksaber, him with the Darksaber too. There were so many marketing posters that they would show where it was him holding the Darksaber, like actually like up too. And then there was one where it was cool. And it was like up going in the middle of his face, holding the Darksaber, and like, but every time it's gone now, probably, I don't know, gone for at least a little bit, and all we saw him do was this heavy, and like, no, actually I don't know, maybe this isn't the best weapon for me to choose, you know. It's like, it is just interesting how they market things versus what we get. But I don't know, that's not Pedro Pascal's fault. That's not any, you know, I can't fault anyone that like performed on the show. That's not like,
no,
I don't know.
There's different problems there, but I think that I have hope for the future of that character specifically, because that's the only part of the show that I wasn't really big on in season 3, is that I felt like Din just took a bigger backseat than he should have taken. You know, like I think it's perfectly okay to have Bo as the lead character in season 3. I have no doubts about that. But as was shown through the first 2 seasons, when Din and Grogu were the main characters, they don't know how to expand side characters.
Yeah.
You know, Cara Dune, stagnant. Grief Karga, stagnant. Like, and I know he's made progress in the background, but it's never because we watch that progress unfold.
That's true. Yes,
you know
we just see it all happen off camera, and like that's the too many things are happening off camera. We're getting so many moments and so many cool things, but it's like, but then they're like, yep. Bo has to explain. I gave this happened before season 3, but it could have happened in a flashback. Something, you know, like show Bo actually that confrontation with Gideon. You know, if Gideon is such the big villain that you had killing at the end of the season, it was such a big thing to have him die. And I don't know. It was just a weird season, but that's the thing. I think Din and Grogu are still here, and we can continue the conversation because my next pick is Grogu, or Din Grogu now. So and Yoda and Grogu were going back and forth. I didn't know which one I liked more. I'm like, I don't know. But Yoda, I think, was more of just the nostalgia is why I like Yoda so much. But Grogu's the cute one. You know, Yoda, not gonna lie, looking kind of ugly at his age. Now, it's just how it is, you know. He's got white hair. He's all wrinkly. He's all old. His eyes aren't all black. You know, he doesn't have the cute puppy eyes that Grogu does. I don't know. That's kind like all that happened this season, kind of with them, is Din. You know, I think it's important that he gave up the Darksaber and doesn't have it anymore, just to show that it truly didn't matter to him in the first place, and it was really just he happened upon it. And that now Grogu is his official son, you know, and like actually adopted. I think that is a bigger moment than some people are saying. Like we were already there. He was already calling him father and stuff, and it's like, well, no, that's how it's done in real life. You know, there's an official process. You know, that was just like the court kind of like the official process of making it real. But we were seeing them just live as a family before, you know, and seeing if it would work. And obviously it did. And they wanted to stay together. And Din was like, yeah, let it be known. Let it be written in the song forever that this is now Din Grogu. It's just weird to say. I don't know. It still just feels weird to Din Grogu. I'm not quite used to it, but I love the implication of it.
I do too.
And I don't know. There's a pretty big gap here, right? Where was Grogu for you?
22.
Okay, so not that big actually. But I think I don't know. I think I like my head's all in the future for Grogu. I'm just, they have so many storylines that they can run down with him. They already have him super involved with Gideon, you know, and maybe he's in with Snoke somehow. I don't know. It could just be a Gideon thing that they needed Grogu for. You know, if Gideon is gone and that was his whole plan, was just his army and he kept it all secluded, then maybe Grogu isn't even involved in making Snoke whatsoever. And
Snoke's
that bodes
long alive.
Yeah, and that's ooh. Oh my. Wait a minute. Order 66, Grogu is taken out, obviously, and hidden and whatever. Maybe he is actually used to create Snoke, and then they got what they needed out of Grogu, released him, and that's how he was just kind of, I don't know, all up in the air. Like, we were like, how was he even in that, like, building that Mando found him in the first place? You know, like, how did he even end up there?
He could have been used.
It's probably just he was. I don't see why they wouldn't kill. No, you would think that he probably had he escaped somehow, or because you would think if they had everything they needed from Grogu, they'd probably want to keep that specimen alive at all costs. Actually,
especially one that can live for so long.
Yeah, never mind. They wouldn't kill him. So I don't know. There's a lot of mysteries surrounding Grogu. Keller and Beck, you know, that's we know one piece of the puzzle, how he got out of the temple. But then when he gets to Naboo, or I guess, who knows, maybe even in hyperspace something could fucking happen whenever they pop out of hyperspace right away before they even land on Naboo.
So that's no guarantee they're going to Naboo.
Oh, really? Did he not say that he was going to Naboo? I thought maybe I'm just remembering that wrong.
Starfighter, I think.
Oh, and that was the only maybe that's what I'm remembering. Is that was it? Because I thought he might have said no, yeah, he didn't say anything. He was they just jumped into hyperspace and that was it. And
yeah,
it was
just got into a Naboo Starfighter and that was that.
Okay, so yeah, never mind. They're not even going. So yeah, we have no idea where this kid's going. But that's a big, I don't know, kind of a big gap to fill.
Yeah, especially for that kid, you know.
Yeah,
he's got a big story.
I really hope that's what next season, you know, is, and he's trying to. We're going on missions, and maybe we just get some flashbacks, or maybe Grogu trying to communicate with Din somehow. I don't like it through something, because he's starting to. I mean, he's starting to kind of talk, you know, and I just don't know what his mind is like, you know, like what his. Because obviously he's a baby. He's 50 years old. And I think, I don't know. I really don't know if I'm overplaying his capabilities right now. I know he's very strong in the Force, but I don't know, if he was able to communicate with Din, through the Force somehow. Not necessarily spoken word. But if he was able to communicate somehow, do you think his communication would still just be, I want food? Like, is it still very baby-like, or do you think it would be like, hey, like I've been trying to talk to you for so long, you know, like actually kind of like coherent?
I don't think it'd be coherent.
At all.
I think it would be baby.
Like,
baby.
yeah, just like okay.
He might have thoughts that are that advanced.
Yeah,
but
he's saying like he had conversations with Luke and Ahsoka. It felt like, and maybe it was one way, but like Luke was having a conversation with them. It seemed, you know, like, and I know that's, I don't know. It feels like they can just conversate with him, and that's through the Force, and that's something different that Din can't do.
Well, I mean, like that's not an uncommon thing that like babies know what they're feeling and absolutely can't communicate it through words. You know, maybe we have no way of knowing what babies' thoughts are like. You know, they could be. I don't think it's coherent, but they know exactly what they want to be saying. They just have no way.
Yeah.
That's what the way Ahsoka put it in season 2 was really, really important to me. Where Din asks, "Are you talking to him?" And she goes, "Well, no. You know, I can feel his thoughts." You know, so like she can feel the way he feels about things and what he wants to say, but just has no way of saying it. So like that's the thing, is that I think once he can talk, it'll be like a baby. I don't think he's just all of a sudden going to make the leap to communication fluidly, be it any capacity, just because it would just feel so unnatural too.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be kind of weird. Him just being like a brainiac. Yeah, like, hey, Din, or hey, Dad. Like, I don't know, just like a normal, like, yeah, no, like you heard him at the end, like, see, like the very end when they're in the bar, or I don't know, not the bar, the like, I don't know what to call that place, I guess.
The outpost.
Outpost. But he said, you know, Dad, I did let that, you know, it was very baby, like very, you know, and I hope we just get more of that, but it's slightly more understandable, you know. But just like that is what I hope we get for like next season.
That'd be dope
with him. But yeah, no, I love where they can go with him, and I don't know. It'd be really really interesting to see if he's, you know, roped in. I hope he's in that new movie with Rey, and the new one. But it would be nice.
He wouldn't be, but you know. I'd be cool with him not being there, but I'd be cool with him being there for sure.
And maybe that's our bias again. You know, I was like, I want Din to take off his helmet. I want him to get rid of all of his faith, blah, blah, blah. But maybe it's like Yoda and Yaddle were Jedi, so we're expecting Yoda to go down that same path, or Grogu to go down that same path and do everything that we want him to do. But maybe it's just he doesn't want to do any of that, and we got to be okay with it. You know, I don't know.
No, and I that's my thing, is that when it comes to the new Jedi Order movie, I have no doubt that he wouldn't be training as a Jedi. I think he'd just kind of be an ally of the Jedi. Like, I think it'd be impossible for someone so strong in the Force to be completely ignorant and ignoring the new Jedi Order. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if Grogu
maybe there's just no counsel whatsoever. It's just if you're Force sensitive, you know, there's no process to earn the name Jedi. It's just if you want to fight for, you know, that side, maybe you're just that's all it is.
Oh, and there's also the fact that regardless of if he wants to take part in the Jedi way, I mean, what even is the Jedi way post with Rey? You know, like
they have
what
the books
is it at that point?
They have the texts, you know, which is interesting.
I don't think we're gonna do. Luke tries to start the exact same Jedi Order, and then Rey tries to start the exact same Jedi Order. I think we're finally going to evolve a bit, which, I mean, I sure hope so. But there's the fact that Grogu, even if he doesn't want to be a full-blown Jedi, he is Force sensitive, and if he wants to maintain that ability, he needs to cultivate that ability. And the best way to do that, I assume, is around your peers. So maybe they go back to like the ways the High Republic, where there are different Jedi outposts. Maybe there's one on Mandalore now, and there's like a little school that there can be one there and stuff. You know, that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I like that a lot. Grogu at 8 then.
That's right.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go back to the old Jedi Order. Same species. Yoda.
Awesome.
Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. That'll always be probably my favorite quote from Star Wars, simply because it's just so, you know, it's nice to be reminded that we're more than our fleshy meat sack bodies. There's more to us.
Hey, the iron in your blood didn't even come from our solar system. Think like our star doesn't even have iron in, like in the planet. So like it had to come from somewhere else out in space. Like iron, anything iron had to come from meteors, anything. So like we are made of star. Like the whole universe is all in us. Like that's how, I don't know. That's very true.
I love that thought. And
the
I love
Yoda line. Like I only remember is just the hate leads, the path to the dark side. I guess I always get the order wrong, but it's like hate leads to suffering or suffering. I don't know, all the whatever he goes down and telling him there.
Suffering leads to hate.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, but I don't know, just a quotable guy. I bet
he's got the bars. I think that Yoda's got. I love me some Yoda. There is another. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of gems in his back pocket. I'll always love. I grew up with prequel Yoda, the CGI Yoda, but puppet Yoda will always hold a special place in my heart. Because I just I love the original trilogy Yoda.
Yeah.
I love the introduction to him when Luke's like, "I'm looking for Master Yoda." Or I'm looking for a great Jedi Master. Yoda! You seek Yoda!
Yeah, like Luke was like, no chance. This
the
is
way
him.
he like crawls head first into his lunchbox and is like throwing shit out.
Yeah, like, hey, get out of there! What the fuck?
Couple
Yeah,
times,
what are you doing?
like that's the best shit. He's introduced as a whack ball who's been stranded on a planet for 20 plus years and is losing his mind a little bit. It's hilarious.
R2, is that you? No way, that's actually you. What the fuck? Yeah, it has to be fake. Yeah.
I love it. And then probably hard to declare it my favorite Yoda scene. That I don't even know what my favorite Yoda scene is, but I know it's one of my favorite scenes in all of the sequel trilogy is Yoda's Force Ghost coming back to talk to Luke one last time,
Boom! Him dropping the bar. He's like, Luke, you pussy. I'll do it for you. He's like, come on, dude. Jesus.
I'm burning it all down. The Jedi.
Like, that's why, like, I don't know, Luke always just seemed that he couldn't quite make the decision. That's like
Jedi
what
texts.
Yeah. And like that's where he faltered with Kylo. I don't think he should have killed him, but he was always like he always thought of what he needed to do, but always in the moment something like, I don't know, went wrong there. I guess in the later years, and now he's like, I don't know, should I do it? These are sacred texts
but the sacred Jedi text, read them, have you?
And then Rey, like, is it that she
fully
grabbed
established
them
in The Last Jedi that she got it?
Well, yeah, but like, is it that she grabbed them before, like, the tree was burnt down? So like the books weren't even in there during the time, and then so it's just burning down.
Yeah, no, there's actually, and I can't wait for us to cover the sequels because I love pointing this scene out. There's a scene immediately after she leaves Ahch-To. There's a scene of her shutting a drawer with the books in them.
Okay, so it is before.
That's well before the shit's been burnt
so
down.
It is whenever she leaves for that. That makes sense because I do remember the drawer, and I'm like, oh, that's where they are.
That's where they are because that's where she gets them out of in The Rise of Skywalker. And Yoda speaking in riddles, there is nothing in those books the girl Rey does not already possess because she possesses the books.
Why not just tell him? Just tell him. No one else is there. No one. It's just you.
He needs to make his peace with it.
Right.
It helps him in the moment. From a certain point of view. As Obi-Wan always
that's true.
Say.
Luke needed to let go of all that past to actually help them in the. Okay, you know what? Exactly. Yoda knows what he's doing. I don't know why I doubt him.
Exactly
why am I doubting him? Why am I doubting him?
It is and one of my favorite lines will always be, "It is the burden of all masters. We are what they grow beyond." I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the crude matter, it's energy that surrounds it. It starts with size matters not. That's where the quote
size matters not.
Size matters not.
Whose beings are we?
Look at me, judge me by my size, do you? And well, you should not, for my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Man, he's fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I don't know. He always suffering. The way he says that word, I like that. Yeah, he's just what a
Attack of the Clones. Whenever Obi-Wan's looking for Kamino and he comes to him with the younglings and stuff, and Yoda's like, lost a planet? Obi-Wan has.
Yeah. Yeah. Embarrassing him in front of all just the kids.
Truly wonderful. The mind of a child is, because the kid figures it out. He's like, somebody erased that shit. And he's like, that's got to be it. Look at that. We wouldn't have thought of that. We trust too much in each other. This kid doesn't know anything about us. He has the objectivity to go, someone erased that shit. Like, I love Yoda. I love the way he handles the younglings. He's known as like the greatest teacher in the galaxy. He plays a role in the High Republic, which I love. And much larger in Phase 2 than in Phase 1. Phase 1, he's on some mysterious trip that nobody knows where he is, and everyone's like, "Oh, I miss Yoda, even though I've never met him. He's just such a guiding light. We all need Yoda around." And then
he was just going around doing stuff.
We have no idea what he was doing. I have no idea what he was doing. But
and what's Phase 1? Like, how old would he have? Like,
Phase 1 is about 150 to 200 years before the Phantom Menace. So
he's still
about 600 or 700.
He's
like
still
he's
okay.
late.
It's not like young life. Okay, yeah.
No. Like it's just before the Phantom Menace. I think he's like 700 would be my guess. And then Phase 2 he'd be 600.
Okay.
And that's conservative. He might be even older.
He is that dude. We were talking about Mace Windu whenever we got to him. You don't mess with Mace Windu. Or maybe it was actually someone else. It was a High Republic someone that you're like, yeah, you don't mess with this guy. Was it Loden?
Loden Greatstorm, yeah.
Yeah, Loden. And then I'm like, Mace is, he's kind of like that. But then we're like, well, actually Yoda, he's kind of like the actual top dog. Yeah, he's like, that's the dude you don't mess with. But, okay. Well, I'm a pattern kind of person. And I probably figured where it's going. But this is where Din Djarin is for me. And I think...
At 7 then.
Yeah, at 7. I think your explanation kind of works better. Like, I think truly Din is above Grogu. Like, character-wise, if I'm looking at them individually, yeah, Din, I from seasons 1 and 2, I'm attaching to Din more than I am Grogu. I'm attaching to Grogu season 1 because I wanted to eat him. Season 2 because I got over it and I just accepted how cute he was, and that's, cute baby moments.
That's so funny.
But Din, we actually get...
Season 2 just had some gems, man.
Yeah, it did. I don't know. Season 2, and I'm kind of... I don't know why... I'll back on my ranking. I said 1, 2, and then 3. I don't know kind of what I was on there. And I go back to episodes. The episodes I go back to now are all like season 2. Like I don't know. I go back to those. Those are just they
had an even more fun adventure of the week style. They're better looking. It's just like there's that part in episode 2. That'll always be one of my favorite comfort episodes of The Mandalorian, the passenger with Frog Lady. Where at the beginning they're getting ambushed by bounty hunters and they set up that the rope pull that makes him flip his speeder, and Grogu goes flying and he has to protect him. He lands on the ground and but then the guy holds Grogu at knife point and he says he'll trade him his jetpack for Grogu, and he sets Grogu down, and the way he runs over with his arms up to Din and he's like, Dad, it's so precious. And then Din sends him flying and Grogu looks up at him like, Dad, it's just so cute.
Lets out a laugh, I think. I think he actually laughs at it or something
and then Din shrugs, there's nothing like that in the
See, that's just random junkers coming up to them and tattooing. That would be something that happened to him off screen in season 3. That he'd be like, yeah, I got jumped by jumpers and they almost took my jetpack and then I flew him up in the air. But we see that and we see how Grogu reacts. We see how Din wants to protect Grogu, and it's like he's in that scene alone, it's just more for fun and more just funny. But you see that Din knows exactly what he's doing. He's done this probably so many times before. Not with the jetpack, it's new to him, but he's like, this is yeah, you can have my jetpack. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Easy trade. This dude was we knew that dude was dead from the jump, the
way they kick off season 2 and the guy who they meet to find Mandalorians, he's like, I'm looking for Mandalorians. He goes like, this is no place for a child. And he goes, where I go, he goes. And the guy goes, so I've heard, the duo is legendary. You know, like people know Din and his little baby friend. You know what I'm saying? Like there was just something different that they lost between seasons, I feel like. And
like in Higgs Mayfield, Bo I was about to say Bo Burnham. Bill Burr, you know, like, oh, I thought you were this other guy, you know, and like not being being more afraid of, I guess he doesn't really, I guess maybe have a past with Boba, but like people are afraid, like Din is like known, like that's, you know, Mando. He is
Mando.
The Mando.
There's
yeah.
No
like,
other Mandalorian that is Mando.
Yeah. And
you know
I think partially that was because they kept their numbers in secret and he was just the best of them. So he was just the one that was always out doing the bounties, you know, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's
home the Beskar for him.
Going around everywhere, and then obviously gets the big shiny suit that everyone sees and that everyone's jealous of, you know, and everyone's like, but
man,
yeah, it's just
I loved it, man. I loved Din. And those first two seasons, it's just packed with moments that I could point to and go, this is why I love Din. This is why I love Din. In season 3, there's like one of them, and it's the I pledge myself to you until your song is written, you know, and I will adopt him as my own. That's it. That's like all season 3 gave us, you know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of great character moments, and a lot of great character moments for Bo, but I miss my boy Din. And I don't think we got enough of him. But nevertheless,
I hope next season's a little different for him, and I think it will be. They've heard the gripes. There's no way that they're like. I feel like they just needed to get this season done. They were like, we just need to set all this up. Now it's all set up. We can do what we want to do now. We'll get back to, you know, people used to complain like, oh, we need to go on a mission to save blah, blah, blah. Nope. No, can you get us an egg to actually, oh no, baby Yoda drank all the, like it was, everyone seemed like it was just very formulaic and they went on the same mission every time or like a side story. But it's like, that's what was, I don't know. Like, I want more side stories. I want more frog ladies. I want more, I don't know, what else was like just a sick side story?
The Marshal, when he goes and helps Cobb Vanth with the fucking crate dragon.
The prisoner episode, that doesn't matter at all. That's like a complete contained episode. That's just sick. Like, I don't know.
And it ends up rolling back around to be important with the Believer in season 2. Like, that's the kind of stuff you can gain from having stories like that, is you can go, wait, why can't we just bring this guy back for this part of the season and it'll make sense? You know, like, love that sort of shit. I love that sort of shit. But, yeah, season 2 is just full of gems like that, you know, blowing up the Imperial base on Navarro and doing all that shit. Like, it's a lot of fun.
That base was there. That's where Gideon was. I don't know. That's just a thing I didn't really think about before. I don't know. Doesn't bode well for Armorer in my mind. But that's another well, I'm waiting on that. I need to let that conversation rest for a little bit. I've been too much.
Yeah, a lot of our Mandalorian season 3 conversations have come around to the same point eventually. So, but yeah, 7 Din Djarin. That's a good spot for him. You know, I like that. My 7 here gives me the second character in my top 10 who you've already said previously. This is where I have Han Solo.
That's where he was for me last time. Wow, at 7. So he just kind of went up and, I don't know, getting the same flowers still, which is good.
Yep. No, I had him at 2 last year, dropped down to 7. Not because I like Han Solo any less, just because I like a bunch of characters more now. It's all that happened, you know. I love me some Han Solo. I think that there's something about the guy that's so endearing. You know, the hesitant hero is how I've always referred to him. You know, Kira's conversation with him at the end of Solo. I know who you are. You're the good guy. And he's like, no, I'm not.
No way, not me. Me?
Yeah, I love that shit. I love that shit. It makes me so happy, you know, when he comes back and he's the one that shoots Darth Vader off of Luke's tail and Luke makes the run to the Death Star, you know. Han's the one who leads the ground assault on Endor, and he ends up doing a whole bunch of shit for the rebellion, you know. And obviously my pinnacle. The cherry on top for Han is his relationship with Leia. I love them together, and the way that he needed to leave Hoth before the base got attacked. He needed to leave to go back because he needed to pay off a bounty he had on his head for Jabba, and he refuses to go until Leia says goodbye to him. It's like until I'm satisfied with your goodbye, I'm not fucking leaving. You know, I absolutely adore them. You know, and there's this bit in the book Bloodlines where dramatically Leia's parentage is revealed to the Senate at large. It was a secret that they were Darth Vader's kids. In the Age of the New Republic, and it comes out when she's running for like the biggest spot in the New Republic that she's Darth Vader's child, and nobody's going to vote for her anymore after that. Yeah. And everyone's like, well, how, like, does Han know? Of course Han knows. You know, like, everyone's like, does Han know? I told him the day after I found out, and guess what? He didn't give a fuck. You know, like, that's the kind of guy Han is. You know, whenever he heard that news, he was off on some adventure, because Han can never rest. He came to Leia's side, stayed with her on Coruscant, on Coruscant for a couple days, or Hosnian Prime at the time. Came to Hosnian Prime and just laid in bed with her for a couple days, like, everything's gonna be okay. You know, I got you. I'm right here.
Hell yeah,
so Han. He was always there if she needed him, and even if it wasn't always where he wanted to be, he was always there if she needed him. And I think it's something that I always appreciate about Han. He's the guy who can't rest, but is willing to rest for the ones he loves. And I think that's a sign of a good man.
And I always love him trying to, like, scroungle out his way out of a deal, or like squeam his way out. Like, oh no, yeah, I'll pay a triple next time for sure. You know, yeah, that money's good. That money's good. I got it. Yeah, right here. Let me go get it for you. I've been actually meaning to pay you back. Actually, I've been glad that you came here. Perfect timing. But no, the I know.
I haven't made a deal with Conja Club. Tell that to Conja Club. That's one of my favorite little exchanges in The Force Awakens.
Dude's getting frozen in carbonite, you know, and it doesn't even say I love you. It just, I know. That's it.
And that's such a great character moment too, just because the entire, like I said, the beginning of the movie on Hoth, his efforts are to make Leia say that. He wants Leia to say I love you. He's doing it in everything but words. You know, he's saying I love you in every way he knows how, beyond actually saying it. And then when the time comes and Han's about to die and Leia thinks she might never see him again, she wants to make sure he knows I love you. And he goes, it's essentially you don't need to worry. Like, you don't need to worry about that. I know you do. It's like, I know a lot of people like to dismiss it as like that's a dick move.
You know, why don't you cocky? No, it's not cocky. It's not. Yeah, no. I think it's a little bit of both. You know. But like, mainly
it's in character.
Worry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's him reassuring her that he's aware that she loved him, and it's enough to go to know he loved her back. You know, like, I think it's a really powerful moment. You know, and. The way he gets to exchange it in Return of the Jedi, whenever he goes, she saves him, or she got shot in the shoulder, and then these two troopers come up behind him, and he like puts his hands up, and she like flashes the gun, and he goes, "I love you." And she, I love that shit. I love that shit. Yeah, so Han Solo at 7, had to have it. Love the guy.
All right. Well, moving on, we got a character here who's already at 6, and man, I don't know, after this Ahsoka that we're doing, and then her actual show coming up, she could go even higher. But right now, Ahsoka Tano is chilling at 6 for me right now.
Love that.
And the Clone Wars rewatch, or like the Ahsoka, is definitely helping this. I've always loved Ahsoka. She's always seemed like the audience's voice in the show to me all the time. Like, she would always say the things that I'd be like screaming at or like internally screaming like, oh my God, how aren't you guys have seen it this way? And she's like, oh, well, wait, we're not going to be able to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, thank you, Ahsoka. That's exactly what I was going to say. And it's like, that's just how they, write her character. But I don't know. She's from the start just so cute and innocent, and also like keeps them in check. Like the Jedi Council, like a lot of times she's the one that's right, and then Anakin's like, all right, well, yeah, you're right, but I won't say that you are, you know, and it worked out all well. But like, she's very crucial. And then as she ages, you know, we haven't gotten to whenever she leaves the Jedi Order yet and rewatching that. But I mean, you know, that's her main storyline here. And like, just to make that decision on her own, you don't get many Jedi. I don't know. We just don't get that storyline often at all. Right. Like when leaving the Order and actually being like, no, you guys don't do things right here. Like something's off and you guys don't see it. And she's totally right. They handled her so bad. Like the sequence of events that led to her leaving, like, makes perfect sense. But even like without that, like she could have she saw the flaws and kind of like how the council functioned, you know, not just directly like to her. She was just like, I don't know, this just isn't what I want to be a part of right now. And man, I don't know what I'm expecting at all for this show, but like, I'm just strapping in and going for the ride. Like, I don't know. I'm just, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And with the World Between Worlds, I just don't even know what that can bring. And I don't know who these new dark, you know, users are. I don't know. What they're bringing to the game, of how big Thrawn's going to be, but no, I'm ecstatic for Ahsoka, and I don't know, I'm itching to get back to just more new Star Wars, but I don't know, I can wait till August, you know. We'll have the Clone Wars and Rebels in between then to rewatch, so we'll be all right.
I love that. No, yeah, I'm super excited, and I of course I will have her in this episode as well. But now I'm sitting in a spot. You got 5 characters left, or 6 characters left. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I, off the top of my head, can easily think of 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm having trouble with the 6th. I don't know if I'm just miscounting or if I think I got it. But I'm excited to hear. Regardless, my 6. This is where I dig into the animation bag as well. This is where I have the mom of the group, Hera Syndulla. I
was wondering where she would fall for you.
Yeah, love me some Hera. Climbed the list this year. I had her last year. Didn't have her low by any means. Had her at 15 last year, but this is one of those ones that benefited from me actually starting that Rebels rewatch. And I was like, I already had her high. I already had her just outside the top 10, and then I was like, you know what? She is what caused the problem. Where I was like, oh fuck, I need 11 in my top 10.
Wow.
Hera. Yeah, that was she was the one who I was like, oh no, I need to, because I didn't want to leave Omega out. She was the one that I was like, I guess I could, but I don't want to. You know, I was like, because she was my gut. She was the one I went with at 10 originally, and I was like, but you know, that it is what it is, and it's led me here. I have Hera above Han, above Yoda, above Din. I love Hera Syndulla, man. She's and this rewatch of Rebels has just really, really keyed me in on why I love that character so much. You know, there's this just from the jump when you're introduced to that character, the way she's calling Kanan love, and she's like, you know, Ezra and Zeb are like arguing, and Zeb and Ezra like look at each other, and they're like, she like comes to the back of the ship. She goes, "What is going on?" And they go, "He started it," like in unison, and it's like. She is so the mom. They are afraid to make Hera mad, you know, and I love that she is she's the contact to the rebellion, you know, she is the reason that this is even sort of connected to the rebellion at large, which I really enjoy. And definitely one of the best pilots in the galaxy, man. She's the shit, and I'm so excited to see that that role be played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is that her name?
Let's see.
Yep, Mary Elizabeth Winstead on the money. Right. Got it. That's Ewan McGregor's wife in real life. Also, by the way. Yeah. So Obi-Wan and Hera Syndulla married canonically in real life.
Look at that. Huh.
Yeah, pretty badass. But love me some Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Can't wait to see what she does with that role. I've loved her in pretty much everything I've seen her in since Scott Pilgrim versus the World fucking 13 years ago now. So
Get the
very
live action
excited.
Ghost, dude. Is it the Ghost? Like, for sure? Do we know? Or is
That she's piloting?
Hmm?
I'm assuming the Ghost is around in The Rise of Skywalker. I don't see why it wouldn't be around here.
I sure hope they're not just like waiting to reveal that, or like, I don't know. Like, it has to be. I want to see what that thing looks like in real. Like, and does it have like the detachment? You know, the little.
Yeah, the Phantom.
Yeah, like I want to see that happen, and just like I want to see that happen in live action, just so bad. I don't know.
I'm sure we will, man.
Yeah,
I'm confident we will. I love me some Hera. I love her relationship to the entire Ghost crew, but that relationship to Kanan specifically is just so meaningful. You know, there's this moment at the end of season 1 where Kanan got captured by the Inquisitors, and they had to leave. Kanan was like, "You guys have to go." Hera goes, "That's not an option," and he goes, "No, you have to go." And she ultimately decides that's what's best, but they know they're going to come back. And when they do and they save him, the way they reunite, there's like a moment, you know. They never make it like official that Kanan and Hera are in love, but you obviously know they are. Like it's such an interesting way to write a story because there's this moment where Zeb, Ezra, and Sabine like take a step back whenever Kanan walks into the room with Hera, and she just walks up to him and like gives him like a really big hug, and then they look back to the doorway, and it's like Zeb, Ezra, and Sabine like peeking around the corner, like mom and dad are hugging, you know, like it's just so cute. Yeah. You know, they whenever Zeb and Ezra go on their little Melu run getaway, Hera sends them on a go find some Melu runs, which they were not supposed to be able to find, and then they ultimately steal a TIE fighter and stuff. There's this moment where Kanan goes, "Man, it's so nice when the kids are away," and she's like, "I know," you know, like it's just I just love the dynamic, man. The Ghost crew is just my favorite, and Hera is a big reason why I love that crew. So I have her very high up here at 6.
Oh yeah, and she's only gonna climb for me, definitely. That's for sure. She's down. Let's see, where's my Rebels crew? There's my Rebels crew at 23. Ooh, goat number. 23 years old also right now. That's kind of cool. Didn't realize that. 2023.
She's your Jordan year.
This is her year. Maybe you know, it's Ahsoka in the name, but who knows? Maybe Hera's coming out like the actual badass of the show.
Blasting.
So, but yeah, she's definitely gonna see a rise, and a Rebels rewatch. I mean, I'd say will only increase Kanan and Ezra as well, like the whole Rebels crew. So, but yeah, it's gonna be just so different. Like the thing is that we're not just getting them like in live action; we're getting like the same voices in live action too. It's like we'll hear the same thing that we heard in the show too, and like that's, I don't know, it's the same person. You know, it's like it'll just feel so familiar and so
well, for Zeb.
Sabine isn't that the
no?
Wait, actually not.
No, the only one from the Ghost crew who's actually the same as the voice actor is Zeb.
Wait a minute. Then who did I hear?
Tia Sakar was the voice for Rebels, and it's Natasha Borzito who will be playing her in live action. Iman Esfandi is playing Ezra in live action, whereas I can't remember.
Is it just Thrawn and
Thrawn and Zeb?
And Zeb? Is that really
Bo-Katan? It? Thrawn, Zeb, Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Yeah, Bo.
Trying to think.
Yeah, I guess maybe that. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no, everyone else getting played by a new getting played by a new actor. Which is you know, sometimes that's for the best. Other times, you know, I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see how it goes. Just because, you know, I don't think roles should necessarily belong to any one person. I think it's nice for these characters to be passed on, and something new gets done with them.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice policy to have. But, you know, I can also see how I'd certainly be a little pressed if I was the voice of an actor or voice of a character, and then I'm also an on-screen actor, and then
not offered the role.
Offered the role. I'd feel a certain type of way about that for sure. But yeah, no, and I want to give Hera her props here too. I believe that is Vanessa Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. It was Taylor Gray for Ezra. Vanessa Marshall.
Yeah,
Vanessa Marshall for Hera Syndulla. She's fantastic. She's done a lot
I
of great
guess.
stuff, and
And another
Yeah,
Hera
well-
in Lego Star Wars. Nicole Oliver, apparently. We have 3 Heras.
hey,
So didn't know it was different in... Wait, Lego Star Wars she's in? I wonder which Lego Star Wars that is.
probably the newest
The
one.
newest one? Yeah, that would have to be, I'd assume.
Yeah, they kind of have all the shits going on over there. There's a
Wow.
little bit of everything
Yeah.
in that game,
Okay.
but
Hera, man, already at 6, that's, I don't know.
yeah, no, I love me some Hera, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like you saw how much higher she was. She was already 30 spots higher than everybody else in the Ghost crew, and then she jumped to about 35 or 40 spots higher.
All right. Well, I mean, now these people they were hard to put one over the other. You know, like getting here, it's like wow. I don't like all of these people are just big people. That it's hard to put one over the other, but it had to be done in some way. And for me, this is where Obi-Wan Kenobi is falling.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
But yeah, I don't know. This is our space dad. You know, we got Hera, our
Space Mom.
I'd say who else? Who else in all of Star Wars could be like
I
maybe
don't know.
Padme?
But even
not
then,
really.
you know, like she didn't
Still not really
age into the
mom
mother
like.
she was
Didn't really
supposed to
have
be,
any
you know?
kids. Yeah, it was going to have children, but we
Mhm.
never got to see her as a mom.
Yeah, you know, maybe Baru, Shmi. But even then, I think Hera's our
Yeah,
optimal choice here for the mom of the group, and I think Obi-Wan is probably the optimal dad of the group as well. Maybe
Satine
Bail.
have any kid? Well, I guess maybe Cal. That's what a lot of people are thinking, that Cal is the lost son of Obi-Wan and
Corky
Satine.
Kryze.
Yeah, but Corky is possibly the brother of Cal. People think that Corky's not actually Cal, that's just a brother. And they were, I don't know.
Love that.
But that it could. I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't even know if there was anything in the game that just got released there with Obi-Wan. I think I don't know. I haven't really looked into it at all.
I have. There's nothing with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, didn't think so. I wouldn't think they'd go there, but no. This is Obi-Wan, not Cal Kestis. But I guess Duchess, you know, coming up.
Hey, natural.
That's part of his storyline, and that's always what we say is our poor
If you
boy,
had said the
our
word,
poor boy,
I would
just
have
gone
left the Jedi Order.
gone through it, and we see him. We go to Tatooine to leave, you know, sit there for a little bit, and he comes back a freaking whack space, you know, just old wizard man. That just the first line that we get from Obi-Wan ever is like the you know, like what the, you know, he's coming in and
Doing the great dragon screech, yeah.
But then he comes in and he
Throws out the hello there.
Yeah. Gives Luke the history. Oh, I fought with your father in the Clone Wars. And
The Force
you know,
it surrounds us,
it's all around us.
penetrates us, it binds us.
Gosh.
This is a lightsaber, the
Alec Guinness?
weapon of the Jedi Order.
Like what he did, but my Obi-Wan will forever be Ewan. Me, you know, that's just who I grew up with. I love Alec Guinness. You know, I don't hate Alec Guinness at all. I don't like his performance is bad at all or anything. He established, you know,
a prequel baby.
He established some very important things, told Luke some very important details, you know, got everyone in the kind of up and running in Star Wars, established, I don't know, but Ewan, that's who I grew up with. And that's who I was, fighting my brother all the time. I liked his.
You were my brother,
his saber.
Anakin.
Yeah. I had the high ground. That's what made me break my leg, actually. Me being Obi-Wan Kenobi made me break my leg because I was up on the couch and I had the high ground. We put pillows on the floor to be acting like the little floaty things that were floating in the lava river. And then my brother was standing on one, and I jumped and, you know, was like making a move and trying to look cool and land on the other one and like pose, you know, when I landed. And then I just landed on my leg so wrong that, and I guess I was like 9 or 7. I don't know how old I was, but like I snapped my femur in half completely.
Oh,
so I guess maybe I just should have drank a little more milk as a kid. But yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi's a little responsible for breaking my leg, you know, the high ground. Maybe it's not all that, you know, I guess I should have just stayed on the high ground. Now that
Yeah,
I
you
think
should've
about it,
kept the high
it is
ground.
all that. I learned a very valuable lesson that day.
The high
Don't jump
ground
off the
is all
couch.
that.
Yeah, it is all that actually. So yeah, Obi-Wan knows what he's talking about. But he's just Space Dad, Space Jesus, Space Dad, dad jokes out the ass all the time, and I don't know if it could have just been Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin all just staying together. Everything would have been all right.
Yeah, I like to think that too.
But we
But
didn't
alas.
quite get that.
No,
maybe-
yeah, I'll absolutely have Obi-Wan Kenobi here before long.
The
Love that
end
guy.
of the freaking movie, like Dave Filoni's whatever movie, Mandoverse movie, Force Ghost, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan. It's or maybe it's just Force Ghost to everyone. But I it's like Ahsoka's like fine. Like I'm assuming she's gonna die at some point.
God,
you should got to. And like it'd just be nice to see everyone's Force Ghost, just chilling together. I don't know. Maybe they're just sitting together. I don't know. We don't even see what they're talking about. We just see that they're together, and that's enough. I don't know. That's all I need.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
But yeah, I don't know. Obi-Wan Kenobi. So many memeable moments through this guy, that we got.
General Kenobi. Hello there.
And even in the Clone Wars, we got in the Benevolence arc, we got the inverse of it, which was sick.
General Grievous.
And,
Hello there.
Man, but yeah, Obi-Wan, he's...
You are my brother, Anakin. It would sad that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. That one always hurt. Yeah, Ewan's got one of the best performances in all of Star Wars, and I will absolutely be getting back around to Obi-Wan Kenobi a little bit later on, but in the meantime, another one of the greatest performances in all of Star Wars here at My Five, Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, climbing this list very, very early on in this character's being.
Okay.
Andor and Rogue One. I love this guy. The journey he's already gone on, just in Andor Season 1 and Rogue One, incredible. The fact that he actually goes on a journey in both of those things to realize himself is incredible. Not a lot of characters are capable of that kind of growth in two separate things and the evolutions of themselves. Like, it's just so compelling, and Diego Luna performs that role so fucking well. I'll always just love. I love this role, and I love.
It's unreal that we got that. I still kind of am in a little like we really have like Andor's a real show.
That's too good to be true, man. And that's been the report the last couple of days. Is Diego Luna said just the other day that Andor Season 1 felt too good to be true.
Maybe that's why it's in my head. Yeah, I think I did see that. Yeah, it's just, man, it really, like, we really got that.
We got that. That is something that exists.
It wasn't even the thing that I was excited for at all. It was like Obi-Wan was the hype. Like they really like that's what I'm waiting for. Obi-Wan, Andor. I mean, sure, I'll watch it at Star Wars, but like I don't really know what it's. And then like, oh my god, like yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what we get in season 2. But man, even if they just do half of what they did, it's still gonna be
fucking incredible, dude. Like, yeah, I'm so excited.
It doesn't have to be season 1, at all. But
yeah, I love me some Cassian, and I think that the journey in season 1 from the sort of Jyn Erso arc, it's not a problem if you don't look up, turning into, don't you want to fight these bastards for real? And he joins Luthen there on a ship at the end, and he's ready to leave Ferrix again, alongside Luthen. Fucking incredible. And then in Rogue One, to be in a place where he's blindly doing things for the rebellion, just doing, he says to Jyn, I've always thought that anytime after I've killed a man or done these terrible things, that I was doing it for the right cause. And the thing that makes me realize this is the right cause is you. What you've said has made me realize that this is what I need to do, and I will follow you there. And yeah, man, do you think anybody's listening? That moment on the beach there when he says your dad would have been proud of you. I think he likes to think that because he likes to think his mom would have been proud of him, that Marvel would have been proud of him in that moment. And that's kind of just the way that prequel has recontextualized his story is impeccable. It's just so well done. And love Cassian Andor, love Diego Luna.
Yeah.
Had to have him at 5 here.
It's a gold mine of characters in Rogue One. Like, just give a show to any of them. I don't know. Just you can give a show to Luthen. You could give a show to Saw. You could give a show to Marva. You could give a show to fucking Brasso. And I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Bix, literally any character. I'm like, I am so invested in those characters, and that's the difference of the show. Is that other shows I'm invested in the main characters, the people who I'm supposed to be, and the side characters support them, but the side characters of Andor don't feel like supporting roles. Like it is. I don't know. Cassian is still the main character, but Bix, Kino, Cinta, Vel, Luthen, Mon Mothma, like all these people feel so important to the story. Like without all of them, the story just wouldn't work as well. But Cassian's is just the arc that keeps, like, his arc is just so good. Like, I don't know. Everyone else's arc is great, but Cassian's is just, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna top it. It's gonna be near impossible, but I don't know. That's what we said during the watch of Andor itself. So I don't know. I'm keeping the expectations low, but keeping them open for because I think they are they have proved that they are capable of actually doing great storytelling with great visuals with great everything. They can do it. So no reason they can't do it again. But not fully expecting it to happen. But yeah, okay, wow, top number 5. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right having him out of my top 10 now. Like R2 was the one that I'm like, do I sacrifice? Do I sacrifice?
What do I sacrifice?
That would be everything.
In Andor.
That would be an everything sacrifice to put R2 out of the top 10. I don't know. But I don't know. I'd say he's on his way up to top 5.
I can't hold you there, man. I love that choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, had to have Cassian Andor here. It's just that he's so easily become one of my favorite characters. Like you mentioned the question of like, what came into play was like the amount of time you've spent with the character, and for me that that didn't even enter my mind.
It's honestly more impressive with Cassian that we don't have as much time spent with him, and he is so impactful already. Yeah. So honestly, it's maybe more of a reason that I should have him higher up instead of keeping him down for a little bit.
What's interesting is there's a possibility that post season 2 of Andor, he will be the character with the most screen time in the history of Star Wars. In terms of actual minutes spent on screen, the main character of an hour-long TV show weekly, it's got to be adding up for him.
Okay, I could see. Yeah. Okay. Now that you put it that way, that's true. Because I'm like, man, out of the movies, no way. But then it's like, well, the movies are only 2-3 hours.
Hours.
2, not 3.
I'd be willing to bet Luke Skywalker has 2 hours, 2.5 hours total of screen time. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's been in 4 fucking movies. Like, that's just a different ballgame. But yeah, Cassian Andor at 5 here.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, moving on. This is quite a big character here, and after the sequel rewatch, she has climbed even higher for me, and this is where I have. And man, it sucks the people who come right after her, but it's just how it happened to be. But this is where I have Leia, and just an absolute. We don't deserve Leia in Star Wars,
right?
She's too good. Like her, just being like, yeah, I don't need a lightsaber. I don't need to be a Jedi. I'm cool right where I am, and I'm sticking to that. I'm turning that. She trained with Luke and everything, and she got through some of the process and all, and that's sick. I want to see just an animation episode with both of them just training. Just I don't know, a short just a little lesson that they had together, just to see a young Luke and Leia training together. I think that'd be amazing. But no, she doesn't need all that. She is Leia Organa on her own, and she was like that from birth. Like we saw in Obi-Wan Kenobi, her at a young age already having that fiery spirit in her and learning, gaining all of her experience, that she'll eventually grow into and what we see her as and the legend that she becomes. Like honestly, probably more legendary than Luke Skywalker in the universe. Like Luke did some crazy stuff, but wasn't really seen a whole lot.
It's more of a mythical entity.
More of a myth. But Leia, like, she's there, and they saw her do the work and like actually like command these armies. Like she's doing it. I know you'll have a whole lot to say on Leia.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't speak on it here. I got Leia later, of course. If you know me, you know she is not in any of the next 4 spots.
But man, whenever like she's already just the whenever the blanket goes, or like everyone's reaction to hearing the news that she was gone, like Chewie, I think that's the worst, honestly. Whenever like Chewie finds out, he drops to his knees and like I'm like, oh fuck, holy shit.
And the way that Poe and Finn, as soon as they hear the way they turn to Chewie, like
they know instantly,
they know it's going to affect him the most, and that like the way that I think it's like it's either Finn or Poe that delivers the line, like they hear it and they turn, he goes Chewie, like oh no,
buddy,
that one hurts, that one hurts bad, and it happens at the moment Rey stabs Kylo, and like the way she goes. Like she can feel it. She can feel that force leave.
Pretty sure R2 was right there, right at her bedside. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, he was.
I think so.
He was.
Speaking of where R2 is during these very important moments in the Star
Always
Wars
there.
timeline, he's there.
Always watching R2. But yeah, no, I've got Leia later, and I'm excited to get there. But I will. I'll begin my technical top 5 at 4 here with Ahsoka Tano. This is where I have Ahsoka. Love that character so much. I think that the journey that character sees over the course of the Clone Wars and then Rebels, and just what an epic story she has as far as being this, like there's this title of an episode in the Clone Wars, the last Clone Wars arc, The Phantom Apprentice, instead of The Phantom Menace, The Phantom Apprentice. She's the Phantom Apprentice, the one that nobody knew existed because she was Anakin's, and then she's just lurking in the background. She helps found the rebellion and guide them on their, like, she's the one giving Hera her missions.
Okay.
Like, I forgot that in my Rebels rewatch. I knew she was important in that she was like a spy and helped the rebellion. She is actively telling Hera what to do, which means that she is a rebellion general before the rebellion came together, which is super fucking cool.
Wow. So is Ahsoka only sending messages out? Because she was like Fulcrum for a time, right?
Yes,
like that was her. And you could contact Fulcrum, but you didn't know who it was, right? Like it was the people who knew, or the people.
Hera knew who it was, but only told other people that it was Fulcrum.
So if you're in contact with Fulcrum, do you know it's Ahsoka, or like are there some people who are in contact with Fulcrum that
I don't know if they necessarily know her name is Ahsoka Tano. But they at least know her face. They'd be able to recognize her because she doesn't hide her face during the transmissions.
Oh, really? It's not the like Fulcrum logo with like the distorted voice.
No, well, at least not with Hera. It had a distorted voice, but it was always a figure with her hood up, and we never saw her face. It was just always angled at a way that we couldn't see her face. But yeah, man, I love me some Ahsoka Tano. We're obviously doing that Ahsokast, and it's hard to consider another character who we'd even be able to do that for, which is kind of impressive in and of itself.
Ahsoka's kind of the actual counter to Palpatine. Like, if Palpatine's still the one, like, pulling all the strings behind the scenes for, the Sith, like,
She's
Ahsoka's
doing her
the
best.
one doing it for the light. She's the one that's actually kind of and shit with the world between worlds. I mean, fuck, dude. I don't know. This is Ahsoka is getting very interesting now. Just to see how, I don't know what she's been up to. Will be very, very interesting to see how active she's been. Like, because it seems that she's going around herself, like, acquiring all this information. I don't know. Like, I feel like she's very active in her pursuits and not like telling people to go do things. Like, I feel like she's a very big part of it still herself. This show is, I don't know. I think, and it's Filoni's baby, Ahsoka, and I don't think he's.
I don't think he's going to fumble the bag. I think he's going to do
be
good by this one.
Pretty well, I'm assuming. This is where he's.
This is where the fun begins.
I don't feel like he really cares. He cares about Din and Grogu. In the Mandalorian, he cares about that show, and like obviously his name's attached to it.
But yeah, Ahsoka's his baby.
But yeah, this is, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of love poured into that show.
I tend to agree. I love me some Ahsoka. Had to be here. Got her at 4.
All right. Well, my 3, or technical 4, is where I have Count Dooku right here. So quite the gap. But I don't know.
About 35 spots.
Is my boy, and that's why I said it pains me to say Count Dooku after Leia. But Count Dooku's just been one of my favorite characters for as long as I can remember. Christopher Lee. Just a badass dude in real life, and I don't fuck with Dooku like on a personal level more than Leia. Like obviously I would side with Leia. If I'm gonna fight for someone, I'm fighting for Leia. I'm not joining Dooku's fight and like I don't know. I'm not like that. I'm not saying that at all. It's just the performance and the I don't know, the character itself is very interesting, and his name's still popping up, he's still being spoken about. Dooku was what I don't know what he called him.
He was cut down in his prime.
Ideas. Yeah. He's you guys don't understand how great this guy is, but I don't know. Another I get like just a legendary just character that I mean, every time he fought, I imitated like his pose, like that. Oh, was just so nice and so clean with it.
A little swoosh out to the side, yeah.
And him actually coming up to Obi-Wan, like while he's trapped there, and being like, "Hey, there's a Dark Lord. He's doing everything. So much shit is going on. Like it's gonna be so bad. We can destroy it though if you join me. Like I know we can. Like we'll be stronger together. We can do this. Like." What do you think? And it's like, well, you might have created a whole clone army behind our back, and deleted the planet off of our, our records and all. So maybe I don't trust you fully, quite. Right. I don't know. I don't know if I can fully just trust you there. But if Obi-Wan said yes, I don't know. I still don't.
Arc.
Yeah, would be very interesting. But Dooku, he's kind of like Qui-Gon questioning the order, but a little more oomph behind his actions,
a little sinister.
He's got a little more spice, you could say, behind him. And I don't know, he's just a guy that'll stay with me for a character that'll stay with me for forever, and I'll always love and adore. But not for just any particular reason. Yeah, just his arc is cool to me, and I like the tropes that he has. His performance there. Yeah, his whole kit. So yeah, Count Dooku at number 3 for me.
I love that. And at number 3, I'm heading over to the sequel trilogy for the final time. This is the protagonist. This is where I have Rey Skywalker. Love me some Rey, and she did see another rise compared to last year. Last year she was at this was the rise of Skywalker, if you will. Rose from 13 to 3, so jumped 10 spots after this most recent sequel trilogy rewatch, and just love that character to death, man. One of those characters who, it took me, like I said, she was 13 last year, which is for a main protagonist not very high. I had her. She made the jump over Anakin, Lando, Qui-Gon, Ahsoka, Boba, Padme, Din, Yoda, and Han. That's a lot of characters that she made the leap over compared to last year. And
Oh yeah. Wow.
I love her, man. I think Daisy Ridley is fantastic at performing her. And one of the things that just made me realize how much I love Rey was that announcement. You know, the announcement that she would be coming back and playing a character in the new Jedi. I read that news and I got so fucking excited. And I was like, oh my God, I absolutely adore this character. And I love this actress.
Yeah.
And it drove me to rewatch those movies and just look at them and go, wow, I can't believe these are the movies that have destroyed pop culture modernly.
It is sad. It is so sad. Like, I swear, if everyone was just kept off the internet and everyone just watched it on their own with nothing going into it, you know, I really wonder how we fare there. Like,
it'd be different. But regardless, I love me some Rey. I think she's a wonderful character, and the journey she sees is so compelling. This you know, the line Maz Kanata delivers to her, you know, the belonging you seek is not behind you, it's ahead. And then Rey literally responds to that line with Skywalker. Well, look at that. That's the belonging you seek. Yeah, she'll always be Rey Skywalker, whether or not these little pussy fuckboys want to believe it or not.
is Grogu Din Grogu? Or
Yep.
is that just, you know, is that just a technicality actually that we're not actually going to agree
is
with?
Leia Organa? You know, is Han Solo?
Do they just want to call her Rey Palpatine just to like discredit her? How does that even discredit her? Even if you like, I still like, it's honestly just mean. Like, is all it is. It's not like you're even discrediting her by calling her like Rey Palpatine. Like, I don't know. It's just like,
yeah, it's
sure.
There's no basis for the hatred for Rey beyond misogyny. That's the hatred for Rey, and it's a shame, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose. I know that I love the character. I think she sees just such an incredible arc from this, you know, scavenger on Jakku to the rise she sees over the course of those movies to becoming the Jediest Jedi there is. You know, I love
all of them.
All of them. She's all of the Jedi.
Man, I saw a fan edit of that scene, and it showed
with
like
all
the Force ghosts like flashing up, like when their voice lines popped up, or like just certain times, and it's like, oh, that's I don't know. It's cool to see like what fans do with stuff after it's all made, but like that, I don't know. I don't want to discredit that scene at all because that's like
that's epic.
It's still that's I don't know. Holy fuck.
The whipping out the other saber, the fact that Palpatine's destroyed by the sabers of Luke and Leia, you know, that's pretty fucking hard. And
bury him though. I don't know, like I never really like. I guess like put it behind. You know, like I don't need the. I guess like I never quite understood like why. Like I know you have your own saber now, but like I don't know. Just like in the new temple that you got, it'd be the coolest to fucking. You know, if you're just, I don't know. Like that's like she's taking the name Skywalker, you know, and like having that be like, you know, like okay, yeah, no, I am Rey Skywalker, and
I think it was just more to poetically end the story where it started on Tatooine, at the Lars homestead with Luke. You know, like it's just and you know, I have complicated feelings about that as well as it pertains to Luke. A lot of people are like, "How are you going to bury Anakin's saber in sand? He hated sand. Fuck that. I don't care about that."
But that's not what I was talking about.
No, yeah, but that is a common complaint. I mean, but like, Luke.
It's not just Anakin's saber for one. Like it's also Luke's and like
there's also the fact that Rey's. You know, there are valid criticisms to have with that choice in the movie, I think. And that's definitely not one of them. You know, Luke never really felt at home on Tatooine, for one. That's a valid reason to go. This doesn't really make a lot of sense. It was not Leia's home. That's another reason to go. This doesn't really make sense. But regardless, I've always enjoyed it just because it gives the movies an opportunity to end where they started there on Tatooine.
And headcanon, we always thought water was going to be brought back to Tatooine. Those 2 lightsabers are going to sink down to the planet core, and those 2 kyber crystals are going to unlock something in the planet. It's going to burst the water coconut right open.
Right.
Oh, no, it's perfect. They're going to go down, and they're going to activate. Someone's going to actually turn them on, and it's going to just slice the water coconut that's in the inside, and all the water is going to come out. So, yeah, Rey knew what she was doing. She's just terraforming, and they'll get them back. I mean, wasn't... In Obi-Wan, we saw, what was it? Just his saber? Was that the only, or wasn't there 2? Wasn't it his saber and, like, what was the box that he unburied? Like was it just his saber and that was it? That was in there.
It was his and Anakin's because he ends up giving it to Luke.
Yeah. So I'd say like they're buried there, but like just as easy for her to go back there and sense where they are. Get them back up.
No, that's the thing is that like I think it's more just there's the other perspective that if you are going to lay them to rest, sort of, because I think that's more. It's just kind of a closure moment for her with her 2 masters. She was taught by Luke and Leia. Where else are you going to do this? Where else do you lay them to rest?
Wait. I was like,
can't do it on all.
Yeah, it's literally gone. Whoops.
Literally gone.
Hello.
You're not going to do it on Coruscant or anything like that. That's impossible. Like, so like I appreciate this sort of maybe Octu or something would have been a good choice too, I think. But like, I don't know I guess it's more Rey's moment. It's not Luke in Leia's moment there. It's Rey's moment. That's her closure.
Honestly, yeah, it's honestly like her birth as a Skywalker, like her embracing that name, and every Skywalker that I guess Luke and Anakin, they were both on Tatooine, came from so it's just maybe like a way of being like her new beginning. Started on Tatooine, but she's already leaving. She's packed. So
I love me some Rey, man, and I think that she's I'm excited for the future with that character. I love me some Daisy Ridley. And,
I hope Daisy Ridley's career just pops up after this. Like because people were kind of afraid to cast her after. I hope like the coming back and like it. I hope the movie just fucks really well, and I hope she kills it. And like she just starts getting offers everywhere.
I sure hope so. But yeah, that's where I've got Rey here at 3.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, this is the biggest gap of them all. This is where Palpatine will fall. And it was before we added the 0, it was perfectly balanced here, which is nuts. You had 97 and I had him at 3. So it was like perfectly balanced, flipped, which is just nuts. I think that's kind of honestly like a lineup. I know they're not lining up, but that's like
it's actually perfectly lined up now.
Wait,
because I had 100, 99, and 98
from the bottom. So he is 97. So it. Oh,
now it is actually.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, is it?
Wait, no. Now you have him at 2. You don't have him at 3. My bad. That's my bad.
Wait, so it wasn't even lined up before, actually. Anyways,
no, not anyways.
Even before it was.
3 plus 97 is 100. It's the sexy round number.
That's where I was off. Okay, yeah, there. But yeah, all your reasons for why he was so low are honestly the reasons not the fascist reasons. Hold on, let me stop. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, but just all his calculations and his evilness, and like I take
badass.
I see. I don't like it, but man, is it just it's cool to have him just know everything and be 5 steps ahead all the time. But then, hey, we just talked about Rey. Rey's the one to actually kill him. Let's talk about, Luke. We talk Luke up. Luke didn't kill the Emperor. Vader didn't kill the Emperor. Or Anakin didn't kill him.
Killed one version.
Yeah, Rey killed him. For good, it seems.
Gone.
Come on.
Disintegration style.
That's his own power destroying him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if he was ready to be killed, like by Rey or Kylo, like he was ready to be killed by Rey, and I wonder what would have happened. Strike me down, take your place on the throne.
Down.
But would it have been if Rey killed Palpatine? Do you think somehow he gets in her body? You know, like he takes
That's
over
what
and
he
it's not
seems
really
to
Rey?
It's kind of what he seems to imply.
Because I thought at first he was like, take your rightful spot. But then it was like, no, now I will. I guess maybe I'm confusing what he was all saying back there.
Oh, and there's
like,
also the idea that like the way he says he is all the Sith, I think that's just kind of what he meant for Rey. Like he would enter her and therein all the Sith would be her now. It would still be
okay.
Because, Plagueis isn't Palpatine, in the way that that's the thing, is that like I don't think it's literally a transfer of consciousness into the body. It's just kind of like, you will take my place and do what we sought with my bloodline and all that stuff.
Just like,
strike me down, take the throne.
But no, like I just don't get even like that's just not a good plan. Like kill me and then do all the Sith stuff that you're meant to do. She'd be killing him out of hate and like killing him out of the hate of what he is. Like. If she did, she shouldn't kill him, because it would be out of hate, whatever. I honestly, I fuck with her just actually slicing his head off, like just being like, all right, let's just get this over with. But like I think like if she does kill him, what then makes her be like, yes, I will stay on the Sith throne and I will carry out the Sith once and stuff like that. Like he wasn't even close to that point.
It must be some sort of ritualistic thing where he would literally enter her body.
Like they're on Exegol. Like there is some Sith power there. Like that's why I like no way Palpatine is like strike me down, kill me. That's his version of like strike me down. I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine. He wanted to die there, and like I felt
about the dyad, and he was like, "Oh shit, I don't need to take your body at all. Let me get that dyad power, homie."
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. See, and man, it's just so the differences between Snoke and Palpatine and all this stuff, and if they are going there, it really seems like it in Mando that's where they're going with Thrawn and everything. So, I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they spin it and how. Snoke's already been he's around and doing stuff. I want to how separate they are, how much control Palpatine has over Snoke, and what all that's about. But man, yeah, Palpatine he's just the like a chess. It's more of just like the moves he's making behind the scenes of why he's so high, and he's responsible for completely manipulating Anakin Skywalker from birth. I mean, from birth, that dude manipulated that kid to become not Darth Vader. He didn't want him to become Darth Vader. He wanted him to become not, a perfect specimen, that didn't have some limbs chopped off. And maybe to do this exact thing that he wanted to do.
Anakin.
Well,
then he also aims to do it with Luke in the original trilogy. He asks him to kill him.
That's true. Yeah. So he's always been ready to die. Like he's been ready, and I feel like he's always had a plan. He's not gone. He's not actually dying. Like if he's telling them, or maybe he's just so confident that he won't die that he's just like, yeah, kill me, like do it. I just know that you won't, sort of thing. But I don't know. I felt like he just has more of a plan. But still, fuck everything he stands for.
This is the sort of thing he gets you to talk about, though. Is this man's maniacal? He's magical. He's the fascist space wizard, man. He's got that shit figured out.
It takes the worst of the worst to know who the good are. You don't know who the great people are unless you know who the real bad people are. And it's very easy, so easy to just, he's obviously the bad guy. There's no questions about it. There's not one time where you're like, oh, is Palpatine going to have a redemption arc here? Could he possibly actually, no, there's no question about it. This dude is pure evil.
And he looks it too. That man looks demented.
Oh yeah. By his own accord. And then because that's what was killing him. He almost did die there because that's what Rey did. He just pushed it straight back. onto him, and that's what was happening at like the whole Mason Anakin confrontation. That's what got him all deformed. And I guess if it just would have kept happening, it would have just disintegrated him straight up like that. Fuck, man. But I don't think his storyline's over, surprisingly. The rumors of Matt Smith playing a young Palpatine and then it being scrapped and then left, like, I'm really intrigued by that. You know, if they're still planning on some young Palpatine throwing him in there somewhere, whether it's Matt Smith or not, it felt like there was some plans for a young Palpatine.
It would be a little bit more in line with Legends comics had they brought Palpatine back in a younger body in The Rise of Skywalker.
And I think it has to deal with Plagueis. I think, like, Plagueis is not maybe going to come around, but I feel like an important factor in Palpatine's story. And, like, he learned everything from Plagueis and felt, I don't know, was ever confident. Maybe Snoke is I feel like Plagueis is still a factor, and Palpatine, I don't know. Something's going on. Something's fishy, and I don't know how it connects yet, but it will. Or maybe not. Who knows?
I'm like, I don't know, man. It might, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'll be happy with anything.
Yeah, right. No, I feel you. Emperor Palpatine's got this crazy, crazy history, and there's so much to explore there, and can't wait to see it unfold a little bit more. You know, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But you know, perfect balance, as all things should be. Powerful light, powerful dark. This is where I have Luke Skywalker at 2.
Okay.
Love me some Luke. You know, I thought it was a tough debate, you know, deciding whether or not to have him here or the spot above. But I ended up putting him here. I love me some Luke Skywalker. I think Mark Hamill is incredible in that role. Like, I just can't imagine anyone else doing it. And that's why if you're going to bring him back, just do animation. I'm tired of deep fake shit. And, you know, I don't want a recasting of Luke Skywalker, you know? I'll take it over deep fake.
Yeah.
But the optimal way to tell stories with Luke Skywalker and that crew, I think, is animation. I get why they don't just fucking do that. It pisses me off. But
if you're the only thing that I think deepfake Luke should be used for is like still frames. If you just want to like I don't know, or like a clip where he's not saying a single word at all. The moment he starts talking is just, it's not a human. You know, it's just like there's no emotion.
There's no
behind
emotion.
The lines.
There's no feeling. he just is, and it pisses me off. But
that's the worst part, and that you can't get over that. But yeah,
I love me some Luke though. Love me some Luke though. I think that the journey that character sees from 4 to 6 is an essential part of modern mythology, and I think that what Rian Johnson had the balls to do in The Last Jedi is something that, you know, a lot of people can't accept, but is a better story than him being a video game character who is all powerful and can do whatever he wants. That's dumb, not fun, not good. Might have been fun, not good storytelling though. The idea that this character would face struggles later in life, as we all do. Nobody just becomes perfect, you know?
Look at
everybody
Yoda.
Alive faces problems the longer they live. Yeah.
Yoda failed. He lost. Like, and he was the top dog. He failed all the time.
And
that's how he learned.
He still gains his redemption, Luke. You know, I think that's I love Mark Hamill in episodes 4 through 6, A New Hope through Return of the Jedi, but I truly think his best performance is in 8 in The Last Jedi. I think that Rian Johnson got the most out of him. I think that it's just I think it's a different beast. You know, I think I already loved the character, but that humanized him in a way that a lot of people hate, but I love. You know, I'm like, that makes him more relatable than he ever was. You know what I'm saying? It makes him more relatable to fail and to get back up and to try again. You know, like that's the shit right there.
And I think I saw that there was like a deleted scene where they filmed him reacting to
Han.
It was either Han or Leia's.
No,
because he did react to Leia, right? Did he actually, or was he turned off at that point?
He'd been dead But
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's actually. Oh, duh. Hello. Okay, timeline there. But the Han one, I saw like a news where he reacted to it. But I thought the whole point of it that he was like still cut off kind of from the Force and like wouldn't. Was he still cut off from the Force at that time?
So the thing is that deleted scene would have come after Chewie, Rey, and R2 show up, and he goes, "Chewie, where's Han?" And then that scene would have happened.
Oh, so it's not. He sensed it, and then it shows up. Oh,
No.
okay.
That would have been in The Last Jedi. And regardless, the choice they made there was like an incredible editing choice to go from "Where's Han?" to a smash cut to Kylo Ren. Answers your question. It's a reaction. It's everything. Like I love that choice. But
okay, I see.
I love me some Luke. The way he teaches Rey, he's like, reach out, and she like literally reaches out, and he like tickles her fingers and stuff. Like that's
I feel it. I feel something.
It's the Force.
Come on, Rey. Come on. Yeah.
I love that so much. At the height of their power, they allowed Palpatine to rise and take over, and like I like a hero who has fallen, a fallen hero who has to find themselves again. That's just a good idea for a story, and I think they pulled it off really, really well. And I love me some Luke, man. So I had to have him high up here. I know you'll have something to say, so he's here at 2.
Well, I got him top 2, but he ain't top. He ain't second. He's not number 2. This is where I have Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Being a prequel baby, I understand where you are coming from and how he did fall. But I'm just not quite there yet, I guess. I'm still watching Revenge of the Sith. I love James Earl Jones. Just hearing the voice. It's so. I mean, talk about iconic, knowable characters. That's a silhouette that everyone knows. Darth Vader. And I'd argue even maybe Anakin a little bit if you give him long hair. And a lightsaber?
Maybe.
I don't.
Maybe.
Anakin's. I'd say Luke's more known. Like Luke is the Jedi that's known. Anakin's just the bad guy. It's.
Vader though, you're a shoe in there. That's 100%.
But yeah, just being a prequel baby. This was Anakin was the cool guy, and before before Revenge of the Sith, even like Attack of the Clones, when he's kind of in his like middle age time. That's where he was cool there. Like, that's mainly what I'm talking about, is kind of like his cool arc was like Attack of the Clones, and then the first part of like Revenge of the Sith before he goes all crazy in Sith mode. But I don't know. I love Hayden Christensen. And I love all the support and all the love that he's getting now, and like actually like just him coming out at Celebration and like just being taken back and like just taking it all in and being like, wow, this is just awesome. Like, thank you guys so much. Like he's such a nice guy. Yeah, and he loves the role so much. He plays it so well. He knows like all the moves, and just did.
Hayden Christensen is to lightsabers what Keanu Reeves is to guns.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Can't take credit. Saw it on Twitter, but I saw it and was like, that's a fucking fire analogy.
Man, but yeah, I mean, and last time I did have him separated. I think I had like Anakin 2, Vader 3, or something like that. I think last time, so pretty much the same spots here. But yeah, I don't know. It's the whole story of Star Wars. It's Anakin from the prequels and Vader and the OT and dealing with the aftermath of it. Not really in the sequels, I guess, but Anakin is the first 6 movies.
Still some fallout there,
Yeah.
It's the reason Kylo exists.
Kylo has his helmet there still. Boom, there you go. So yeah.
No, I love that. Is it happening again?
Yeah, it just.
Okay. Hopefully that does it.
But anyway, yeah, there's my one, I guess, right now. But technical 2.
The almighty 0 spot to follow, but my one, perfectly balanced with Anakin Skywalker there. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, wow, above. Okay, so above Luke. I was okay. I was wondering where Obi-Wan was going to come, because when you said Luke, I was like, wow, okay, so Obi-Wan he's not one. I know that. Like, this is
but yeah,
so I know he's two,
up
but
here. He is, and it's the same as last year, same order. I had Obi-Wan above Luke last year, and since then we've gotten the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which just enhanced him a little bit more. And therein, I couldn't comfortably put him below Luke. I just I love Ewan McGregor's portrayal of that character, and I love the original trilogy, so I've always loved Alec Guinness's portrayal of that character too, and the way that he comes back and saves Leia and the relationship they form and stuff. Like, it's just so. I think it's so important, and I think that his last little moment, seeing Luke and Leia reunited and being okay, joining the Force, I think that's incredible. An incredible idea for the characters.
Yeah,
and
the idea of like just becoming a Force ghost, like Qui-Gon couldn't quite get there. I wonder, like, did he not have like the training or knowledge to become a Force ghost, or was it just that he died in a way that like didn't quite allow it to happen? He died like, because Obi-Wan was like at full peace, when he died. He was like, yeah, you strike me down, I'm going to, like, he knew, like, when he died that he would become a Force ghost. But Qui-Gon, he died like in pain and in, in a moment where he probably didn't think he was going to die. He didn't want to. So I wonder if there was a moment where I guess, I don't know, because Qui-Gon didn't fully have that knowledge, I guess. Or I don't know, do you have to have the knowledge to become a Force
ends
ghost?
up becoming a Force ghost anyway.
Yeah, so
so does Anakin. He gets burnt up in the suit.
That's true. Yeah.
So there's no necessary. I don't like. There's always been these weird rules surrounding Force ghosts and stuff, but I think it's just I think they've kind of thrown that out the window and are like, if you're a Jedi and you die, you might be able to be a Force
I like
ghost,
that but everyone that's just puffed, that's just disappeared. It's always
Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ben,
Luke,
Leia.
Yeah, everyone's been at peace. Like, and that's what I really like about that. And yeah, that moment, like, I never thought about it. Like, you were the first one to tell me, like, that he looks over and sees Luke and Leia together, for the first time, and like he feels that's why he's fully at peace. It's like, that's what he's been working for his whole time. And like, I don't know, I've never thought about it that way, and it's just such a beautiful story. Like, it's crazy. It's just space wizards and with laser swords and like, what the fuck? No, but all that is, it's just the story.
I love me some Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think that he's a Jedi's Jedi, and I think that he impacted a lot of the galaxy in his time, and he's super important. Love that character, and he'll always be one of my favorites. So have him top 2 here, and technically at the number 1 spot here. So get on to the zeros.
Well, it's Luke. That's the only guy I haven't said quite yet, and that's that guy for me. I guess Return of the Jedi, that I liked. I liked to fight as Obi-Wan, but I always had to be Obi-Wan because my brother wanted to be the evil Anakin, and that's who evil Anakin fought. That's the only person who Anakin fought as a Sith, pretty much, other than Mace Windu, I guess. But that wasn't much of a fight. That was more of just sort of an execution.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not and I guess you can kind of count Dooku, but he's not like fully. No, he's not fully like gone at that point.
No,
it's like Obi-Wan's the only guy that evil Anakin fought against, so that's who I always had to be. But if I could choose someone to be, it'd be Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. That dude, when he just comes in there, does that little walk the plank, grab it, come back up, catch the saber out of the air that R2 alley-ooped up perfectly for him. Goddamn, another reason to love R2.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely dime of a pass to Luke there. I guess he is an astromech and can make just the literal calculation and know exactly what he has to do. So it's kind of a little unfair, but no, I like to think that he's just eyeballing it. He's like, I can do this.
Like, all right, this could be, fuck it.
You had to time it too with Luke's jump and all. So I mean, hey, I don't know.
On the money there.
But yeah, Luke, that black outfit, the green saber, he just came out like so different. came out so much cool, felt just complete, and I was like, oh, that's just the coolest guy right there. Like, yeah, I don't know, like I looked up to Obi-Wan because he was the on the good side of the moral compass, other than Anakin, but in the original trilogy, it was just always Luke. I guess maybe a little whiny, some people say, or whatever. But no, I don't know. It's Luke's journey that we're taking on, and we see it through his eyes and everything. And then in the sequel trilogy, after I'm watching it, now, at first I didn't really appreciate what they did with this character, but now that I'm sitting back on it and all that hate's gone, it's like, yeah, no, this makes total sense. Like, he's following. It's just he's doing exactly what Yoda did. Pretty like the exact things that have happened to Yoda, Luke is going through. It's just that Luke is a human and his lifespan is much shorter, so it's just Yoda's events are much more spread out. But like the same thing is happening. He failed. And he went in isolation. He's like, I'm done. I failed everybody. There's nothing I can do anymore. I have to just give up. Goes on an island and I'm with no way to be found, at all, basically. And it's just, it just making him more human and actually, like, that just makes total sense. And it did work for the story. And it honestly makes him feel more legendary at the end there. Whenever he does, like, project himself and he does that, like, that is his last act,
that's legendary shit, man.
Keep the fight alive, to keep that spark,
See you around,
like,
kid.
Come on, the little brush off the shoulder, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, yeah. All right, I think that's enough. Okay, Kylo.
You think you got him?
Okay, dude. Yeah, and then
stop. Yeah, no, that's a I love The Last Jedi, dude. I'll never tire of it. And that is, like, Luke is incredible in that movie, and he's incredible across the saga. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. And, I'm left in a place with him at the end of that movie where I'm just like, God, what a celebration. What a time to, like, come together with his friends. It's just wonderful. I love it.
Man. And I don't know, most recently, the little clip that was released with Cal Kestis, like the live action of like Luke training Cal. Yeah. I don't know. Could just be promotional advertising, but could be a little, I don't know, easing us into the like seeing Cal in his like I don't know, in live action. Like he's there with Mark Hamill on, like, I don't know. That's just very interesting to see them together. And I know it's just marketing and it was just all funny and jokes. But I don't know. That could. They
never gave me 2 lightsabers. No, I loved that.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah,
I don't know. Luke, I love it, man.
Mark Hamill will forever be Luke Skywalker. Like,
yeah, man. That man's. I love him. I think that he's a little bit. No, I love him as Luke. Can't complain. Can't complain there. He's a great guy, and great in that role. And it's a great way to end the list. It's the natural way to end the list here. You having Luke, me having Leia.
There we go.
I love Leia Organa.
Couldn't have been more better. Couldn't have been more perfect.
Couldn't have. It's those are the two. They are Star Wars to me. At the end of Rise of Skywalker, who is it Rey looks to continue the name? It is Luke and Leia. I think that's so compelling. I love Leia so much. She's been my favorite character for a few years now, and she will never not be my favorite character again. It's kind of that's a staple from here on in. That won't change. Someone's gonna have to do some shit to make that change, and I don't think it will. Like at this point, given where Rey is, I think Rey's the only one who even has a fucking chance, and I don't think that'll happen just because Leia's that special to me, and came at a point in my life where the sequels particularly, where I just I grew to love her even more. And then the passing of Carrie Fisher just made me realize how much I would miss her and miss that character. Yeah. And there's I can't say this about a lot of celebrity deaths, and I know Star Wars dominates my headspace a lot, so this is only natural. I think about Carrie Fisher fucking daily. I can't say that for a lot of other past celebrities. I think about her every day, and I think about Leia every day. They are just that important to me as a character and as an actress, and I think that what she did with that character is iconic, and I think that the younger version of that character showing up with Vivian Lyra Blair. Incredible. I loved her in that. I thought she did so good as a little Leia. And to me, she is royalty. That's the princess of Alderaan. That's the general of the rebellion and the founding member of the resistance. To have learned about the rebellion through her parents, who helped start the rebellion, and then start a resistance of her own. Just so fucking cool. I think she's just what a journey that character went on, and I love her, man. Love Leia Organa to death. So
yeah, you're right.
She had the top
animation. Animation's the answer.
Yep. Have Billy Lord voice her, man. That'd be the shit. Her daughter in real life. That'd be the shit.
Oh yeah. Wasn't she involved in something Star Wars?
Yeah, she was Lieutenant Connix in the sequel trilogy. She was there a lot. She was also who they deep faked Leia onto for the scene where she acted as a Jedi. It was Billy Lord who actually did the action in that sequence.
Sick. Oh, that's just so cool.
No, it's super fucking cool, man. And so, Leia was always going to top my list. I don't think anyone who knows me and knows my preferences for Star Wars kind of knew that was going to be the case. It was kind of an inevitability, but that's my top one. So with that, we conclude our top 100 Star Wars characters, and let's run through those top 10, quote unquote, there. And I'll give you the reins here.
All right. At 0, I have Luke Skywalker. 1, Anakin/Darth Vader. 2, Emperor Palpatine. 3, Count Dooku. 4, sorry, the 0 fucked me up there for a second. 4, Leia Organa. 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi. 6, Ahsoka Tano. 7, Din Djarin. 8, Din Grogu. 9, Yoda. And 10, R2-D2.
Lovely. Mine are 0, Leia Organa. 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi. 2, Luke Skywalker. 3, Rey Skywalker. 4, Ahsoka Tano. 5, Cassian Andor. 6, Hera Syndulla. 7, Han Solo. 8, Yoda. 9, Din Djarin. And 10, Omega. And with that, thank you all so very much for joining us for this top 100 favorite Star Wars characters. It was so much fun to do this once again, and I'm sure in the next year we're going to get Ahsoka, we're going to get Skeleton Crew, we're going to get fucking 5 more High Republic books. Who knows how this changes again? There's all sorts of shit coming, and
hopefully some High Republic from me, or some novel, characters, that I can finally
dip some comics. I'd love that. I'd love to be able to revisit this yearly, and I think that we're in for another year that we'll be able to do this again. I think it's kind of inevitable, but yeah, it's a fun topic to revisit. Changed a lot from last year, and I'm glad we did it. But with that, we will conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content. For $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. So please check that out. Head to Twitter, follow @PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, we've got a lot going on this week. We're doing another edition into the comic book movie journey through film tomorrow. There'll be X2, X-Men United. Next Monday, we continue our Game of Thrones rewatch with Season 3, Episode 8. We continue the Ahsokast next Wednesday, Ahsoka Tano podcast, and that'll be the Mortis arc, which is a very fun one that a lot of people love, a very fun one to talk about. So the Mortis arc is next week. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Then I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Remember, peace, love, and bloom, and may the 4th be with you.